Welcome back to the Commercial Real Estate Show. I'm Michael Bull. Today we're talking about industrial real estate and logistics. My guests are Larry Callahan, CEO, and Peter Anderson, VP, both with Patillo Industrial Real Estate. And gentlemen, there's talk about all these ports being dredged and being expanded and a big change in logistics around the country. What's happening there?
Well, the Panama Canal is going to be widened, and they're approaching completion of that project. It was originally supposed to be done in 2014, but big projects like that sometimes get delayed a little bit. But it is a major opportunity for people that are delivering by ship to figure out what the best place is for them to go. And still in the United States, 2/3 of the people in the United States live east of the Mississippi. So if there is a easier way to move things by boat, and traveling by boat is still the cheapest way to transport large amounts of merchandise, then if there's an easier way, then it's more likely that people are going to try to find a way to get more things coming directly to the East Coast. So it's a smart move. You're trying to deliver things to people. There's still a lot of goods that are coming out of Asia. And if they're coming out of Asia, the West Coast is the first thing they come to. So there's still going to be a lot of things that are going in through Los Angeles and Seattle and all these other places. But I think they're going to see a significant increase, not a complete reversal, but a significant increase in the patterns of coming directly to East Coast ports. And I think that's going to be a significant thing. People have been planning for it for years and starting to set up the buildings that are there. And I'll let Peter comment more because he's working all up and down the East Coast ports right now, and maybe he can tell you a little bit about what the current status is.
Well, here we are in 2016, and it's funny because we were talking about preparing for the expansion of the Panama Canal in 2006. Mm-hmm. So we were premature. I think the whole real estate community was premature, and it was oversold. There's definitely been a competition from all of the ports to try to prove to the federal government, appealing for our tax dollars, that they're the best place for the federal government to invest in dredging their ports. I think Savannah is clearly going to be a winner in the Southeast as a port of entry, but the Panama Canal, as Larry said, is not yet expanded. And so the post-Panamax ships aren't really coming over in number.
What is the timing?
So and that timing seems to continuously change. And so sometimes it's like a building construction timeline. When you've got the bad weather, sometimes you just stop looking because it's always bad news. But I bet before 2020. And so then Savannah is going to be one of the first East Coast ports that's going to be dredged to the depth that can handle the post-Panamax ships. And that'll probably be in the early 2020 range by the time that's completed. I mean, that's once the dredging process begins in earnest. Once they start digging, you're still looking at a 3 or 4 year process for the entire channel to be dredged at each one of these ports. Charleston is fighting hard to be right behind that. Jacksonville would like to join those ranks as well. But that's each one of these ports is looking for about $1 billion of federal money for that support. In the same time, you've got LAX, Long Beach, LA ports. They're looking for several $1 billion for improvements that they have out there. So the West Coast ports, as Larry said, are not going to give up easily on being the port of entry for this freight. But there's going to be certainly a diversification that we've already seen start to occur of ports of entry. Companies got burned by having one primary port of entry years ago and have already shifted even on the smaller Panamax ships coming to the East Coast ports. And so immediately today we're seeing Savannah market has had a nice uptick. The Charleston market is starting to see an uptick, and we're hoping in the Jacksonville market in particular that they will soon see some effects of more freight coming from Asia into our ports.
Well, how can occupiers of space prepare for that now? Is it too early now if you're an investor, you're a developer? You use warehouse space, use industrial buildings. Should you prepare now for that? And is there any changes to expect?
It's premature.
Still.
I believe it's premature. I believe most users are going to want to see these channels established, that the Panama widening is established and that it's serviced regularly. I think even today, and perhaps we don't have any call-in ability here, I'd like to hear, but I believe Long Beach, LA Long Beach ports are still seeing less than 10% of the freight that comes into LA Long Beach coming in via post-Panamax ships. So this is going to unravel or play out, is a better word, over the next 20 and 30 years. All the ships, all the Panamax ships that are serving ports today are going to continue to serve ports, but will be slowly retired over the next decades.
Okay. Well, great. Well, you can comment if you're watching or listening, comment on YouTube or on iTunes or the show website. Stay with us. We have more to come. The Commercial Real Estate Show is brought to you by Bull Realty, a great place to do business. Xceligent, information for the professionals. And Commercial Search, properties for sale and lease. To access these companies or for additional videos, podcasts, and articles, visit CREshow.com.